love and positive energy. When you feel in your mind, you will get lots of powerful energy. And when you get lots of powerful energy, you'll get something to do very properly. So when you get practicing on it, get used to it.
Om Shanti, wasn't she adorable? That's Ava in Hyderabad. She was originally in Singapore. In that video, she's just 4 years old. A result of her sanskaras. To think the way that she's thinking at the age of 4. That's our topic today. Continuation of part 1. The imprints of the soul, these sanskaras. They're governing everything. Anyway, welcome. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna, and here at the beautiful Meditation Museum, we hope that you will come now that we're opening our doors more regularly. But check online our timings though. Even though it will be pretty much Monday through Friday, definitely between 12 to 3. But we just want you to be able to just stop by, go online to meditationmuseum.org if you'd really just want a moment of respite, just to be able to connect to the deeper part of you. We've got some great programs coming up. A young mentor program headed by educational and motivational speaker Kenny Bay. We have Living Arts, the art therapy process by local artist Nancy Burbridge. So I'm just excited. That's why I'm sharing all of this before. So little Ava that came on before I did was sharing the wisdom of her spirit, the wisdom of her soul. I spoke yesterday on the Sanskars, these personality traits. Remember? Algae, anger, lust, greed, attachment, ego, remember? These are the negative, human, heavier energy of our existence. It's the personality energy that we're very familiar with. And majority of our decisions are still influenced by that vibration, by that experience. That algae is actually the cause of my lack of financial abundance or my financial abundance, good relationships or not so good relationships, good health or not so good health, my mental capacity to think positive or my lack of positive thinking. It's all coming from the sanskar. Algae creates obstacles. The energy of algae takes away the original sentient power of our existence. Now the opposite to it is peace, purity, joy, love, and wisdom, self-respect, spiritual wisdom. And the whole effort of Raj Yoga meditation is to offer you the guidance that empowers you to use your original nature, not the original sin. But it's here to teach you how to use your original nature. You can do that as a Brahma Kumaris. You can do it as a Jewish person. You can do it as a Muslim. You can do it as a Christian, a Buddhist, a Sikh. Even if you're agnostic, this is going to be our effort for every single person on the planet. Now do you understand why I chose to be a Brahma Kumari? Because it's so neutral. I want my sanskars to get back in place, the way that it used to be. And for the students who study here, it's not a religion, it's not a cult, it's not any of that. It is a journey that's helping us to find the power to overcome the algae, the negative sanskars. I want to take us through this journey together. If Santosh can just bring up our first slide. Our first slide will really give you an idea of reminding you that you've got to remember that as a human being you're giving a name, a gender, title, maybe a role, a religion, a nationality, a language, a certain style. Now all of that is coming from sanskars, okay? But you are a soul in your human body. You are a human soul in a human body, and you really are eternally connected to the Supreme Being, to Baba. You're a child of God, the Supreme Soul. And what has happened is we've become so distracted by algae that we've moved away from the experience and the aliveness of God's relationship. I'm not talking about a religious God. I'm talking about God, the parent of the soul. The parent of the soul that is love and peace and purity and joy. Now sit with that for a little bit. Not a religious God, right? But the energy of God, who is the power of love and peace and purity and joy and wisdom. Okay, let's move on. So as we understand the sanskars phenomena, okay? I want you to look at this image. You are the living soul. Now, there are 3 faculties of the soul that exist. There's a mind, an intellect, and sanskar. Now we're talking about the sanskaras. The sanskaras are the memories, impressions, instincts, habits. It's your personality trait. It is the sum total of the experiences that you as a soul have had for many lifetimes or in this lifetime. Just take a pause moment and think about all the things you've felt in the last 5 years. Can you define them? Can you, in a detailed manner, write them down? No, you can't, because the feelings are internal, they're subtle, they're inside of you, they're inside of the soul. The soul is you. It is a subtle mechanism. It is governing your body and your decisions, the way you see the world. As a result of your sanskaras, you interpret yourself in a particular way. You connect to certain people in a particular way. You make decisions based on your sanskaras. As a result of your sanskaras, you choose the way you dress, the way you speak, the food you decide to eat, the drinks you have. And now the thing is, with sanskaras, they're so deep. As it says, it's a habit. And it has this instinctual ability to send certain thoughts, emotions, unfulfilled experiences to the mind. Now all of this is happening in the soul. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you feel very inspired, and sometimes you don't. It's your sanskaras. But your mind gives you a window to visualize that. Your mind gives you a chance to observe what sanskar is activated in you. Can you remember that? Okay, example. Right now, as you're listening to this session on sanskars that you've asked me to do more of, there's an interest, there's a curiosity, there might be even an intuition that this would be good for you if I can understand it. Okay, so there's a thought, some memory, something recorded deep in your subconscious. It's sending you this image, maybe an event, a circumstance, a moment in time, and you're getting these feelings. Your mind houses your feelings. You have feelings from the thoughts that you are able to identify, and sometimes you feel numb, empty. because there's so many thoughts that you're not really addressing or processing. So sometimes you can go into disheartenment, depression, fear, anxiety, or confidence, overjoy, inspiration, courage. It depends on what feeling you're having, but what are those thoughts signaling you? And remember, the thoughts are always being influenced by a sanskar. And the sanskar is really deep. And for me, the most important sanskar is attachment. If I'm attached to an experience from my past, the attachment to the experience is convoluting, is shadowing these thoughts and these feelings, because at present, maybe that's not what I need. The past is the past, that's where it belongs. But my present is about God's divinity and power working through me. And if in my present moment there isn't virtues, or there aren't virtues, there isn't love, there isn't respect coming through me, there isn't a kind of a spiritual grace and dignity coming through me, I am being influenced by my past traumas, disappointments, fears, attachment to an unfulfilled desire of my past. So now you can understand why life is unfolding the way that it is, right? And I'm sure you have heard or met singers or artists who are incredibly talented, but they've not reached the level of an Adele or Beyonce or a Whitney Houston or a Michael Jackson. So somewhere in their sanskara is some sort of a special mystical, it could be like a gift. In Hollywood they call it, they have the X factor. There is something that their energy houses that when pushed and supported by powers that be in the entertainment industry, there's a vibration that they carry, and then the people's vibration on them evolve them into a star. It's fascinating, I tell you. But there are many, many singers in the world who might even be more talented than they are, but they didn't get that. They didn't get that. They might be teaching you how to sing, but they don't become a Whitney. They don't become a Michael Jackson, an Aretha Franklin. I'm just giving you an idea of how the sanskars are there, but there is also something in there that's like, you know, it's sad when you look at so many of these stars are going down because of drugs, because there's still some trauma there that's not being addressed, but there's just something that is given to them as per the drama. Somewhere the drama elects them to have this specific part to play that entertains us all. And it's like we can live our lives through them. So go back to sanskars, all right? So you get these thoughts, and these thoughts create your feelings. If the feelings are not fulfilled over a period of time, they become emotions. You might hear, oh, I felt so emotional looking at Sister Gita yesterday. I gave her a little kiss on the picture yesterday. It means there's so much going on that maybe it just wasn't all completely, filtered through. Okay, all of that is still coming from sanskars and some element of attachment to the past. Attachment feeds emotions. Love feeds your power. You will not lose anyone if you break your attachment to them. You will enhance your relationships if you love them. But then you have to remember what love really is. So let's go down this journey of how the soul is changing. Because now the faculty of the intellect is your discernment, your decision maker. It's where you can now decide, should I say what I'm about to say? It's coming from my past, isn't it? Should I think what I'm thinking? If it's not inspired by divinity, courage, grace, beauty, power, wisdom, joy, peace, freedom, then why am I having it? It's my past. So your intellect now has the ability to transform these sanskars from algae to the original power of who you really are. Isn't that fascinating? To walk and move around throughout the day, being aware now of what is happening to you on a regular basis. It's happening every minute. Just look at what's happening in the world. There's a fight between algae, yes, lots of noise, lots of chaos, lots of deception, and the truth. It doesn't need to fight, it just needs to pay attention to itself. Your original nature is a soul, and your intellect knows this. Your intellect knows peace, purity, joy, love, spiritual wisdom, grace, truth, self-worth, self-respect, has more power than algae. And so when you understand that through your discernment, when you look at what are the benefits if I live my life from that sanskar, from these sanskars, from this intention, there's a deep automatic mechanism recorded in you. Life is going to be good for me even if there are challenges. Depending on how old of a soul you are, those sanskars will determine their depth in you. The older souls have more algae that they have to deal with. Newer souls might have some algae, but they can sort it out quickly. But for the older souls, the journey has been long, and the sanskars are deep, but so are these. So on a regular basis, the soul has to keep implementing this personality, the impressions, the instincts of love and peace and purity and truth and joy in your everyday action. So just take a look at that diagram again. Sanskars, mind, intellect, all functioning in you right now. Right now, your sanskars are sitting in the background, but your intellect is what's trying to discern, what is Sister Jenna saying? Wait a minute. Do I have to replay the show 100 times to figure out what she's giving me today? I would say yes. Because the moment you have figured out who you really are, you will not allow the sanskars of trauma or the sanskars of the past or algae to deceive you and make your life difficult. So as you're expressing yourself, emotions, desires, all of these experiences come into your actions, comes into your words, your behavior, your choices. And if you're really observing, you can see what is imprinted deeply in the subconscious. Take, for example, Ava. She's just 4 years old in that video. Look at what that little 4-year-old is saying. So what is the recording of her sanskar? Maybe in her previous life, she was really an inspiration. And that energy of inspiration is so deep in her, it still comes through. From her intellect, she speaks it, she walks it, she just is it. That's her expression. Now, I ask you, take a look at yourself. What have you become? Are you strong, courageous, powerful, confident? Do you believe in yourself? Or is the seed of algae, body consciousness, distracting you and making you no longer value the importance of your existence? Let's take a move on, Santosh. Thank you so much. I'd like to show you the tree of attitudes from the seed of spiritual awareness. The seed of your attitude, if you can come from even an awareness of what I've told you, your original sanskar, peace, purity, joy, love, wisdom, that is who you are. That's who God connects to. That's the energy that God and you can facilitate and do great wonders in the world, whether it's for your family, your city, your community, your job, your inventions, your career, your talents. that energy in you, that energy facilitates the reason why we're here, to triumph over the algae. So the positive tendencies kind of offer you sometimes a sense of, look at how the tree offers you all the variety of virtues and qualities: introspection, cheerfulness, determination, patience, self-discipline, detachment, sweetness, love, honesty, tolerance, self-respect, stability, tirelessness, carefree, purity, humility, benevolence, fearlessness, cleanliness, courage, self-confidence. If you create that mindset, which requires consistent attention and discipline, you will have mastered why you're here. Now look at what's happening in the world as we shift the page. When we have a different mindset, shift the page, Santosh. The seed of the attitude of spiritual amnesia. This is body consciousness. This is influence of algae in your sanskars. If you pay too much attention to the algae in your personality, what emerges in your external world is you get impatient, attaching, doubting nature, a lack of self-confidence, greed, hate, pride, fear. You become short-tempered, jealousy, immaturity, competition, insanity. So why we need to understand ourselves is that we need to be free of feeding that progeny. Let's move on, brother. So here, it is important that you connect with the divine. How? Silence your mind. Stop thinking those waste and negative thoughts. Purify your heart and simplify your life. So I hope that really helped you all today. And I think, do we have like an AI question too? Do we have anything on if the Brahma, like what would the Brahma Kumaris say in how to transform sanskaras? In AI? In the teachings of the BK, sanskars refer to a deep-rooted impression, tendencies or habits of the soul accumulated over time through experiences across multiple lifetimes. Transforming sanskars is a vital part of the spiritual practice in the Brahma Kumaris. It is aimed at fostering qualities like peace, love, purity. So let's move on. Awareness of the self as a soul. Think about this. And with this show, I want you to keep playing it back because it'll help you. The second practice, of course, is our Raj Yoga meditation. And we teach that in all of our centers, all 9,000 centers in 110 countries. Move on up. Move up, Santosh Bhai. Spiritual knowledge. A part of our big process of sustaining the awakening is a class called the Murli. It's spiritual wisdom. The spiritual wisdom comes with two dynamics. When Brahma Baba was around, his personal experiences, but also how he channeled God's light through him. But then another aspect of the Murli, the deep subtleties of the soul, when it becomes really, really pure, and it's really about the thoughts you feel in silence and how the Murli helps to gauge you to understand yourself better. Purity in thoughts, words, and actions. Whenever you're performing actions, check what your thoughts are. A karma yogi. What are you thinking? What sanskars are entering your mind? And is there the discernment that I don't need to keep serving that sanskar, I need to change that sanskar, so that the best of who you are emerges, especially at this time. So the power of determination and attention, maintaining constant attention to your thoughts and behavior is going to be crucial for your transformation. All right? So as we continue to show this spiritual company, satsang, I know for many of us, I love to be around nice people. Now I know people who are kind of challenged by their algae, they also help me to be nicer. I hope that makes sense. Self-reflection and the turning of knowledge. This is keep processing the wisdom that I'm giving you so it can build you up and make you stronger every day. Create a new vision for yourself. And when you look at others, try to see them in their complete form. To change sanskars, you need to look at yourself in a different way, but also look at others. So thank you so much, Santosh. I hope that has helped you all so much in terms of understanding this imprints of the soul, the sanskar. Speaking of Sanskars, Santosh, do we have a Sister Gita effect? Let us listen to our sweet beloved sister who had the Sanskars of God's love in every fiber of her body.
There are many reasons why people oppose each other. Why do we oppose each other? Misunderstandings, resistance to change, competitiveness. If someone decides to hold on to their negativity, no amount of analyzing or reasoning can ease the situation. At such times, only patience and more patience will help a closed mind gently unfurl itself. Have patience, O mind. The first lesson on the path of becoming a peacemaker is to stop being at war with myself. In meditation, I can retreat into the inner sanctuary of the soul and enjoy the tranquil flow of loving thoughts passing through my being. Only then, when the turbulence of my own mind has subsided, can I make peace with the world. When I have developed some degree of inner peace, I can hear the voice of my own wisdom and know how and where to give energy for the greatest benefit. Do think about these things. Thank you. Tranquil day of patience, peace, and wisdom. Om Shanti.
It's so important to be able to get along with people. No man's an island. The art of aligning your sanskars with people. That's the art. And it requires discernment, wisdom, understanding, which is why spiritual wisdom is so important to give us power and strength. They say, knowledge sets you free. Remember that saying? It's true. All right, so Avyak signal, do not touch even slightly any of your sanskars that are not like Baba's. You have already climbed the ladder of the body and bodily relations. Now, don't allow your old sanskars to have a lot of influence over you. Just as Baba's qualities are, you also need to have the same. The same tasks, the same words, the same thoughts. Then it will emerge through everyone's lips that this child appears to be very godly, very sweet, very loving, very kind. So true. So how did you like today's session? I hope it wasn't too much for you. Was it clear for you? Did you get any thoughts about it? So good morning to everyone, good afternoon to everyone, good evening. Om Shanti, Sister Jenna with a beautiful message. My husband had a CT scan this morning. Good luck, Leilawati. Grace, good to have you on. Beautiful Divine Rising and Meditation Museum. Chat, good. Journey of Courage. I think that's Ava and her mom. Asmita, Raj, Jackie, Rashmi, Jenna, Smita, Usha, Michelle, Yukti, Rupesh, Kailash, Ant, how are you? I'm ready for another bomb session. Shobha, Anil, Anita, Travel Kwa. I love how you create such a calming atmosphere. Thank you, Travel Lakwa. Chaya, how are you? Om Shanti. And Wendy, Joanne, Dinesh, Eb, Indu, and all of you, thank you for joining us today. I hope you're enjoying the segment on Sanskars. I can assure you that if you choose to really understand it and investigate this aspect of yourself, your life is going to be incredible. I mean that. It's going to be incredible. Understand yourself. Understand your capacity and your worth. Keep paying attention to the world behind your eyes. You'll find God there. and you cannot help yourself but be your best version. If you want to reduce your attachments, keep loving everybody the same. Thank you so much for tuning in to us today. All the many, many blessings your way. Om Shanti.